child shot dead because, according to the killer, he was, going through cars. Let me do this. Let me put up the picture of the young victim here. In Northeast D.C, an unidentified homeowner, and I will get back to that unidentified part in a minute. An unidentified homeowner confronted and shot the 13-year-old child after claiming the child was breaking into vehicles along the street. According to the report, he was shot multiple times. The 13-year-old was identified by police as Karon Blake of Northeast D.C. Police confirmed that Blake was a student at Brookland Middle School. Investigators said when officers arrived at the scene, they found the homeowner performing CPR. Well, isn't that big of him? CPR. There was no indication that Blake was armed. Blake was taken to an area hospital after the shooting and later pronounced dead. The Metropolitan Police Department said the shooting happened around 3:56 a.m. on the 1000 block of Quincy Street, not far from the middle school. Brookland Middle School issued a statement obtained by Fox 5 DC News. Grieving the loss of our beloved scholar, it says. It talks about how the child began his educational journey at Noes ES last year. He was promoted to BMS as a 6th grade scholar. He was quite inquisitive. He loved fashion and football, although he loved his neighborhood. He loved Brookland Middle School, the faculty, and his peers, and the structure it presented to him even more. He leaves behind his mom and 3 younger siblings. That statement should never be made about a 13-year-old child. He leaves behind his mom, 13 years old, shot and killed. Let me give you background on the current investigation. While investigating the incident, police found a car on Quincy Street that had been previously reported stolen and is believed to have been used by the 13-year-old. Investigators believe 2 other juveniles were also involved in the incident, according to a neighbor in the area. And 2 tried fleeing the scene in a vehicle before bailing out the alley and running away on foot. 13 years old. Let me ask you this question. What is more valuable? The life of a 13-year-old child or something inside of a vehicle? What is the better approach? There's no indication that the 13-year-old was armed. Why would you shoot and kill a child, even if the child was engaged in conduct unbecoming? Take it as an opportunity to be a mentor, to provide some direction. Anything but pulling out a gun and killing them. Investigators said the firearm used in the shooting was legally registered, as if that makes a damn difference. And the homeowner is cooperating with authorities, as if that makes a damn difference. Authorities are still working to determine whether any criminal charges are warranted against the homeowner. You see, this is the part where I realize who's an ally and who's not, who's woke and who decides to remain asleep. Everyone should be outraged by the fact that a 13-year-old is dead with multiple gunshots by an adult. He wasn't armed, he wasn't trying to kill anyone. That's on the record. But then above the outrage, they're trying to figure out, well, we don't know yet if he did anything criminal. Okay, well, let's count the ways here. 13 years old, okay? No gun, no indication that he was trying to kill the individual who utilized deadly force. Even the police, they have a protocol. You cannot use deadly force unless it is absolutely necessary to do one or two things: to save your own life or to save the life of somebody else. Now, which one was it for the homeowner who has been unidentified? Which is it? Were you saving your life? Did you think he was going to kill somebody in the community? Because according to the protocol of even the police, that's a no-no. And they're trying to figure out if this was criminal at all. Once again, the value or the lack thereof that they place on this 13-year-old black child. But I guarantee you this, we will stay on top of it. And that is why opportunities to engage on platforms, media, direct engagement is important, because for those who are not in that local community, this may be your first time hearing about the story. 13-year-old child shot dead, homeowner not arrested. Child wasn't trying to harm the homeowner. Let me put it another way, because I know I get pushback for this. Let's say it was a 13-year-old white girl who was out, was drinking, should not have been, and acted in a way that was juvenile and immature. And she gets shot and killed in a community by a man. Do you think the scenario is the same? Do you think authorities are going to try to figure out if a crime took place? Do you think they're going to put in their official report? But the homeowner is cooperative. It was a legally registered gun. None of that has anything to do with the crime that took place here. All right, in my opinion. Jackson, thoughts here?
So, the sad reality of this story and many others just like it is a lot of people are just itching and waiting for an opportunity to use their firearms. Because the police could have been called if you really were that worried about your car. And two, as well, a lot of people are itching to use their firearms because they don't think about the consequences of possibly killing someone who may not have a gun and they don't think about these types of legal things. They just are itching to shoot somebody. It's not like anybody was breaking into his home and anything along those lines. But, all they're doing is trying to frame it in such a way so that it's just a homeowner protecting his property. Nothing else. You already pointed out that if it was a different person who was shot, if it was a 13-year-old white girl, 13-year-old white boy, it'll be looked at differently. It'll be looked at, oh, he was youth, he was caught up in XYZ. And the sad thing is that let's say the narrative does happen to switch and, the homeowner got prosecuted, that would cause outrage on the right. He's a homeowner, gun-owning homeowner, protecting his property. That kid shouldn't have been doing what he did anyway. So that's just a result of our gun culture that's really more extreme than anywhere else on the planet in terms of civilized and well-developed nations.
Yeah, we're going to continue to follow this story. At some point, they will have to make a decision, yay or nay, on the charges. We are calling for charges and for them quickly.